So before I get this video started, I just wanted to let you know that I'm available for readings. I'm a psychic tarot reader and an astrologer, if you didn't know from my YouTube channel, and I would love to read for you. I can read your tarot cards or your natal chart / birth chart. Just check out my website, Lamarr, Townsend, tarot.com, spelled just like my YouTube channel name. The link to my website's in the description box. It's also in the comment section. It's also in the title of this video. Make sure that when you purchase your reading, you wait for the confirmation email, or actually you send me your questions depending on what type of reading you buy. Whatever reading you buy, within 24 hours, I will send you a confirmation email, and within 1 to 3 days, we'll get your reading done. Usually it's sooner than 1 to 3 days. With that being said, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, comment, share with your friends and your family. Make sure you also hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you get a notification, of course, whenever I go live or upload a brand new, awesome, lovely, funny, educational, insightful video. Also, make sure that you follow me on my social media pages. My Instagram is at Lamarr Townsend. My Facebook is Lamarr Townsend Tarot. The links to my social media pages are in the description box below. Also, check out my ebook, Zodiac Signs Sex Language, available now on Amazon, Kindle for download, purchase worldwide. Also, check out my singles Unblock Me and Forbidden Fruit, available on all streaming services, including iTunes, Apple Music, I believe, also on Spotify, YouTube Music, Tidal, and more. So now let's get into the tea. Hey Gemini, which side of you am I going to get today? I think that's one of the most frustrating things about Geminis, is you never know which side of them you're going to get, which side is going to jump out at which moment. And that's like the most frightening thing as well, is you don't know which side of them is going to jump out at any moment. Like, they can switch, between, being the nice Gemini to being the mean Gemini to being the helpful Gemini to being the assertive Gemini. It's like you get so many Geminis all in one that by the time you finish spending time with Gemini, you're like, oh my gosh, like I don't need to spend time with anyone else. I just spent time with 8 people all in one. Something that also frustrates me about Geminis is that they change their mind so frequently. Like, timing is so important when it comes to a Gemini. It's so annoying. Like, you could ask a Gemini, what they want to eat at 2 o'clock, and at 2:30, they want to eat something different than what they wanted to eat at 2 o'clock. And then at 3 o'clock, they don't even want to go out to eat anymore. They want to eat in. 3:30, they decide, why don't we just order in? 5 o'clock comes in, we still don't know what we're going to eat. So when it comes to a Gemini, it's best that if you make a plan at 2 o'clock with that Gemini, you better go through with that plan as soon as possible before they change their mind. It's almost like asking a Gemini parent for something when you're young. Now, I personally had a Gemini mom, all right, and I had to always time asking her for something. Of course, you want to ask, if you want favor with the Gemini, if you want a Gemini to say yes for sure, you ask that Gemini when they're in a good mood, of course. But the thing is that Gemini could be in a good mood now, but who knows what mood they'll be in an hour from now or 10 minutes from now. So you have to time it right with the Gemini. And why do we tell Geminis our business? Why? We know they're not going to keep a secret. We know they're the #1 zodiac sign for spilling the tea. I don't even know why we bother with Gemini. I think what it is with Geminis is that they love to talk, and they're so easy to talk to. So, the next thing you know, you're spilling tea and not even realizing that you're spilling tea, whether it's about yourself or someone else. And you have to keep in mind that Geminis are good at reading between the lines, okay? Geminis are good at, figuring things out without you explaining it fully to them. That's one thing I don't like about Geminis, is that they're very perceptive. Like, you can't hide anything from a Gemini. And I've noticed that with Mercury energy in general. Like, I think I said the same thing in a Virgo rant. By the way, Virgo is your Mercury brethren and sister, and you're both ruled by Mercury. The only zodiac signs ruled by Mercury. And, it's just something I've noticed about Gemini is that you're very observant, and you guys can, work with context clues really well. Like, you don't have to say that you're attracted to someone. A Gemini can tell just from your behavior, your body language, the way you look at someone, the way your voice, the pitch of your voice when you speak to someone. They can tell right away what the tea is, what's going on. And in that same frame, a Gemini is so nosy. They're so nosy. Like a Gemini just needs a little bit of smoke, you know, to go off of. And they're looking for the fire. They're looking for the fire. So, for example, if they get any hint of something that maybe you are, well, what would be a good example? Maybe that, you know, you are quitting your job, for example. A Gemini will, you know, if they get that kind of hint, you know, because you have to be on your toes when you're around a Gemini. I'm telling you, you have to be on your toes. For example, maybe you're working, you know, next to a Gemini coworker. Don't be, you know, looking for jobs on, you know, while the Gemini coworker is next to you, because you think they're not looking at your screen, but they're looking at your screen. And the next thing you know, later that day, Gemini is saying, you know, so, you know, you looking for a new job, you know, I mean, you're like, no, why? And, you know, you're like, and then the Gemini's like, oh, I don't know, I was just wondering, you know, and this is how Gemini really gets you. They're like, you know, I just don't like this job. This job is just, like, I'm so over it, you know, and blah, blah, blah. And then that's how they reel you in. Like, you know, maybe you'll kind of spill your tea about how you feel about the job, too. And the next thing you know, you're spilling your tea. Well, you know what? I don't like this job either. You know, to be honest, I am looking for a new job. And then the tea is confirmed. Like, you Geminis are so sneaky. And the next thing in their head, they're like, oh, I knew it. I knew she was looking for a new job. But, you know, outwardly they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling. Geminis need to know everything. They need to know everything about you. They need to know everything about your life, you know, your friends. You know, they need to know everything about where you're going, what you're doing. You know, what did you eat yesterday? What are you eating today? Like, Geminis need to know everything, and it's like, it can be so frustrating. And if you're not going to tell them, they're going to find out somehow. They'll ask your friend, they'll ask your mother, they'll go on Facebook, they'll go on Twitter, they'll go on Instagram, and they'll read between the lines. They'll, you know, make up an inference, you know, based on, you know, context clues. Oh, this, you know, they're posting this, this, and that. I knew it. It's like, oh my gosh, Gemini. And they may have a way where they'll confront you about something, like, just to see how you react, or just to see how you, like, if you'll confirm it. But you have to be careful with that. The best thing sometimes with a Gemini is to not engage in conversation, to not engage in communication, because somehow a Gemini is going to loop you into telling the truth, or to spilling your tea, or someone else's tea. Gemini is that parent who will go to the weakest link. Say, for example, you and your friends, like, you know, decide to sneak out when you were like teenagers or something. And, you know, Gemini will go to the weakest link, you know, like a Gemini parent will go to the weakest link in the group and question them. You know, pick their brain. They can't get information from them, they'll move on to the next. They'll move on to the next, they'll move on to the next. And then based on the information that they've gathered, they'll make a decision on whether or not you guys really snuck out, or if you were, like, the truth that you told was really the truth. I cannot stand this about Geminis. They're like natural investigators. It's like, oh my gosh, why can't you just handle the truth? Why can't you just take what I told you as it is, even if it's not the truth? What if I don't want you to know the truth? Geminis can be so inconsistent. Oh my gosh, they can be the worst people to make plans with, the worst people, you know, when it comes to communication. But it's interesting, like, when you, like, and this is all about timing and, you know, figuring out which Gemini, you know, is you're going to interact with that day or that moment. You know, Geminis can be really chatty one moment, and then, like, another moment they can be, like, dead silent. And it can be, like, a really weird dichotomy. You know, it can be sometimes confusing to figure out, okay, are you chatty Gemini, or are you Gemini who wants to be alone right now? And please don't get in an argument with the Gemini, because they always have to be right. They always have to prove a point. And has anyone noticed that Geminis can be a little bit of social climbers too? Like, they'll use people for clout or something like that. Like, something I've noticed. And I feel like Geminis secretly love being the center of attention sometimes, and will take attention away from you purposefully to bring attention to themselves. But I will say, if there's any zodiac sign that you just want to kick it with and who's down for anything, it's a Gemini for sure. So I do appreciate that about you guys. Whew, I got some things off my chest. I feel a lot better. All right. I hope I didn't hurt your feelings too much, and if I did, oh well. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, comment, and share. Make sure that you also check out my website, LamarrTownsendTarot.com, to purchase a reading from me. Whether it's an astrology birth chart reading from me or a psychic tarot reading from me, I am available for readings as we speak, and I would love to read for you. Purchase your reading now, and we'll get your reading done within 1 to 3 days or sooner, okay? Make sure you subscribe, like this video. Remember that the link to my website is in the description boxes, in the comment section, and the title of this video. Subscribe, like this video, comment, share with your friends and family. Also, check out my ebook, Zodiac Sign Sex Language, available on Amazon. Check out my singles on iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, and all other streaming services, YouTube Music, Apple Music. And also, make sure that you follow me on my social media pages. Instagram is at Lamarr Townsend, and Facebook is Lamarr Townsend Tarot. Love and light, and I'll catch you in the next video. God bless, and no stress.